Thank you for tuning in to Andronetalks Radio, gathering as one in our sovereign truth from a galactic perspective, exploring our world with new ideas, knowledge, and a promise of a better future. Galactic discussions for galactic-minded people. Andronetalks.
Hello everyone. I did a private session with Powerlady, and we had a lot of strange things that came up and where I was very, very concerned about. And soon after that, I did a show with Peter the Insider to validate some of the information that we were looking at. And this is a new show that we've done with Powerlady. Powerlady, I've known her for quite a while, and is quite intuitive and is able to sometimes see things that are coming up, and we discuss those things and what's happening, and I take a closer look at it with her. So hopefully you are able to gain some information. Maybe some of you have seen some things that are related to this, and it's a bigger concern to me that we correct and try to assist others with the process. So thanks again for listening, and we will have that video that I did with Peter soon after to talk about some of the things regarding the ghouls and some other bad things that were coming up. So with that said, here is the discussion. We saw, you said saw a white bus that he was on with a bunch of people, and you think it's a military bus because they usually, it's not like a school bus, it's yellow. Yeah. And just saw, I heard him saying that he agrees, and that something about signing something, that he can do that, or he can go with them, but it's bringing them into another reality. And I'm seeing a whole bunch of signatures. And I'm asking that all the signatures become null and void because they're tricking people. Who in the world is doing this? It's like they're trying to pull out all the good people. Okay. But I don't think they're taking them to a good place. They're trying to make room for another group that doesn't belong here. I'm going to ask to swap that out, and that all those beings that, people that don't belong here, that are either from another reality or have another purpose, or they're another species or race, that they return back to where they belong, or if they're criminal and they're invading our space, I ask that they be extracted and be brought before the high courts. Whoever is creating this agenda right now. Wow. They were doing, I just heard the Great Replacement.
I just got full body chills.
Wow.
It sounds like something that's going around where they're talking about the two Earths, and that people, the good people are starting to separate, and they're all going to this new Earth. Although it's not a physical, it's more of a spiritual thing. This is what I'm hearing. This sounds something like that, where people are being tricked to going to another place, thinking that that's their ascending or some type of ascension, and that when in fact they're being replaced.
It's almost like they take them and bring them over there and then come back, and then they take them, bring them over there, like get them accustomed to it, and then there'll be a final, you know, it's almost like, no, we'll be okay, we're going to come back again, only at some point they won't bring them back again. This is probably what I've been feeling, is that something's not right. This woman contacted me today. She was hysterical. Crazy, hysterical.
I'm going to read this to you. Maybe this is, it's like 2 pages, a front and a back, but it might have something to do with it. I just saw it on the 23rd, and I was in a place, and it was getting ready to go to work. He had gotten a job at a place, I believe, called Hardee's, but he had his uniform on, but it reminded me of an old McDonald's uniform from the 70s. It was either blue or that orange rust color. He said he was working 8 to 6, and I commented for him to make sure he got an hour for lunch. I asked him how he was going to go to school, but I don't remember the answer. He wasn't in high school, and it was probably some other type of school. He said he would do it when he wasn't working or something like that. I told him I would take him to work at 8, go to my job, and then be off in time to pick him up at 6. The next, I was walking with a manager of perhaps where it worked. It was some kind of restaurant. It was a very clean McDonald's, or just looked like a fast food restaurant, but a little more upscale. We were talking about the schedule. Then a very tall, 6'3", 400-pound man was standing next to the manager. The manager was invisible to me. I know he was there, but I don't know what he looked like. The bald man reminded me of Lex Luthor, so to speak, the big one from the cartoons, but he was grungy. They were looking at an iPad at this bald head man's schedule. I remember seeing some type of character on the iPad at the bottom left-hand corner. Reminded me of the Monopoly Man, maybe the jail character, and it was all black. The manager was saying to Luthor, "This is your schedule, and I don't know what these arrows mean because this is the time you were in jail, but it didn't affect your working here." Then I saw a little hand come out from this bald man and point at the iPad. This baby looked to be 6 to 9 months old, and the bald man was holding this child. The child was pointing at the iPad, trying to work it, and then I said, "Oh, look, he knows how to work the iPad." And then I started to walk away, and the bald man turned to me and said, "That's from his mother. She is always teaching him that stuff." The child was blonde-haired, blue eyes, and it could have been a girl.
I saw someone that had chains on them yesterday. And that's what, there's a picture of Lex Luthor with chains on him. So he's a slave master of some sort. Yeah, they have one hell of a nerve taking all these innocent people. You see the chain?
Yes. You saw this yesterday?
Yes.
And I saw this on the 23rd.
Lex Luthor is in which storyline?
I think it's not Super Friends, but it's a cartoon where like Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman, maybe like the Justice League cartoon. And he has a bald head and he wears a suit with a big belly.
Art by David Finch. It's almost like Lynch. Depicted as a narcissist, egotistical, mad scientist from the 1960s to the mid-1980s. He wishes to rid the world of Superman, ostensibly because he was Superman as a threat of humanity, but in reality envies Superman's popularity and influence. So he's considered a supervillain. What does he do?
Well, Lex Luthor was, rich. He wanted to be Superman, and just, what do you call it, nemesis?
He's also called Nemesis?
No, like their arch enemy. Like the Justice League, their arch enemy. Nemesis, yeah.
Someone also called Ra's al Ghul.
Ross.
Ra.
Well, I know the ghoul or Gwaul is from Stargate Atlantis. Ra. You had Ra, and then you had the Gwaul. That's what those names remind me of.
They intentionally chose a depiction of Luthor as a businessman as Ted Turner or Howard Hughes, as well as Satan.
What the heck is going on here?
Something's going on. It's really bad. And it's under the guise of, taking people to a new earth or something, but it's BS.
Yeah. Taking them back and forth, and then they keep thinking they'll come back, and then they take them for the last time.
Yeah.
They don't bring them back. Oh, okay, well, I do have a couple more things that might be tied to it. There is the name of someone named Patrick.
Someone by the name of Patrick?
Yes. I saw the name Patrick. He will, and this is what I got. He will make a post that I will like. It is a clue, understanding, or something I need to pay attention to. I think I like the comment that he posted on YouTube. So I don't know who this Patrick is. That was on February 14th. Now this one right here, it involves, it was February 16th. It says, I saw the number 66 stacked on top of one another. So it was a 6 and then a 6 underneath it. Next to each number was a word I could not read. It was on a sheet of paper at the top left-hand corner. Then my mind started going with numbers and I came up with 26. Excuse me. Then I saw a visual of standing by my bed while I was asleep. He was standing over me somberly. His head was bent down and he said 66.
That might be a prison system. The slave system is a 66. Because Lex Luthor is also supposed to be Satan.
Yeah.
I don't know. This still seems like there should be more information on that.
But whatever it is supposed to occur by 2026.
By 2026?
Uh-huh. Because while I saw the 66, the numbers started going in my head, just like calculating and doing, just flying everywhere, and it stopped on 2026. And then I saw the visual of it, and he was standing by my bed. I was actually looking down. I could see me laying in the bed. He was standing on the side of my bed, and his head was bent down, and he said 66.
This is weird. I'm trying to... Kevin Spacey is in Superman Returns. Alexander Joseph, Lex Luthor. Childhood accident caused by the young Superman, which made Luthor go prematurely bald. And Lex Luthor is played by Kevin Spacey.
You know, like, did I even see that movie? I'm pretty sure I did, but I have to rewatch a lot of the movies because the stuff, what I know now, back then it was just entertainment. Now there's messages in them. So I go back and watch them.
Yeah, he's in the film Superman Returns 2006, and he's bald. That totally makes sense. He appears as almost an arch foe. So this is probably Monarch extracting people and then replacing people. Yeah, they're doing something really weird. They'll have prisons in both realities.
Mm-hmm.
One imprison everyone here that stays here, and then imprison everyone over there.
The other one.
But the ones that are not from here are not going to be. They'll have a pass. They'll be able to do whatever they want.
This also might be something. I had forgot about it. On February 7th, I wrote just a note in here, and I said, for the past 2 nights, there have been many children around me, ages 4 to 7. I just remember them with their hands up like they wanted me to pick them up. It was just like children all around me.
Oh.
And it was for
Monarch.
Hmm?
Monarch.
Monarch.
So I said immediately Monarch, and as we look at Lex Luthor, you saw Lex Luthor in this. That's Kevin Spacey.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm like really stressed right now.
I don't. The only other thing where I saw me in armor, and I believe I was time traveling or teleporting somewhere. It has I saw, okay, I was standing by what I would call a time travel machine or some kind of machine that would take you from one place to another, teleport. It looked like 2 large leather cushions or something similar to my spa covers. When the huge brown cushions were up, it revealed another cushion that you could lay on. So it looks like a big, huge spa, and the cushions are on top, and they open like this. And when they open, there was another cushion, and you lay on that cushion, and then you close the top cushion over you, and then you would be transported wherever. It could be considered a bed as far as how it looks. I remember walking around it, and I had the top part open. I knew there was a control panel somewhere on it that I had to punch in some information. Although I did not see it in my dream, I knew it was there. I seemed to be wearing some type of body armor while I was preparing or getting ready to leave. I looked up in the distance, and there was an old-looking house. There was a person standing in the doorway. I could not make out this person, if this person was male or female, or if it was some type of being. I just knew it was humanoid, standing in the doorway, and was a light color, maybe gray, but not a light being. I also remember there was something I was supposed to be doing prior to this, but I refused to do it, and I was leaving.
Well, I think they're showing you how to leave and go to that space.
That other Earth.
The big connection point is in Las Vegas. I don't know why, but that's one of the big places that they chose.
So showing me how to leave here to go to where this other Earth?
Yeah, that I'm seeing May, June, July is when they're gonna do a major launch. But what we need to do is get rid of all those signatures and consent.
My card has been missing that I have my revocation on. It's been missing for weeks, and I just found it today.
Oh, good.
So I was trying to shoot it from the head, or I have it in my phone. So we're back.
I'm seeing you holding a clipboard, and you're writing things down, and there's like you're wearing like a conductor's hat, like for a train.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having you keep tabs on everyone. I was just talking to someone else today that had that conductor's hat on. And I'm thinking that they're using people to be the ones that are going to help organize this whole process. This is really twisted.
Yeah, it is.
Can you ask to undo that you don't consent to being a part of this agenda, that you are going to undo all of it, and that all of the innocent people that are coming through your space, that you are going to break this, shutting down any type of agreements? that they cannot take these people off the planet. I'm going to ask to close that portal.
Okay, you'll have to help me. Okay. I break all ties, vows, oaths, blood oaths, contract agreements, and entanglements with this agenda of me being involved with collecting people to take them to another planet. I do not consent to this agenda. In all time, space, reality, past, present, and future, alternate space, in between space, parallel pocket realities, and realities in all dimensions and all contexts of realities. And I ask that this be done right now. I do not consent. I do not agree to any kind of program overlay agendas or entanglement connection between myself and this monarch extraction program that I have been drawn into, collecting people to send to another Earth. I unplug, delete, uninstall, shut down, delete, cut off any and all connections with Monarch and this extraction agenda that is
in Las Vegas, in the portal in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas and through this portal in Las Vegas. I ask that any of the innocents that came through my space, that they be returned to their natural space, that they be anything that was done to them, that it be reversed and that they be made whole. And I ask that this be done right now. And I also ask that my soul be brought back to its natural space and time. And I ask that this agenda, this reality, this whatever this is, that it be shut down, cut off, no longer exist, and that anyone involved with this, that they be taken to the highest courts where they will have to answer for what they are doing and what they are doing against humanity. And I ask that this be done right now. So be it.
They're rewarding this like Lex Luthor character for doing the big extraction, but the ones behind it is this Arael Al Ghul, an international criminal mastermind. That he believes that the best way to achieve balance is to eliminate most of humanity. He tries to assault the world populace with biological weapons such as genetic engineering, engineered virus. He aided in the quest by the Lazarus pits, reservoirs of rejuvenating chemicals that restore the dead and dying to life. These pits are granted him in a lifespan of several centuries. He regards Batman as a worthiest opponent, addressing him as a detective out of respect of intellectual brilliance, and has frequently sought to make the Dark Knight his successor. He is one of the criminals in Batman's rogue gallery and is deduced as a secret identity as Bruce Wayne, but keeps silent on the matter due to the same sense of respect for Batman. For his own part, Batman's opposition to Ra's is complicated by both his own respect for Al Ghul's genius, if not his goals and methods, and his attraction to his daughter, Talia, which she reciprocates. It's kind of a weird, it's almost like they're a race of beings, or the ghouls maybe. The demon head. Ra Al Ghul, the demon head. The birth can provide the rough figure of 500 years of Ra Al Ghul's age. Due to living so long, he is assumed to have lost track of how old he is. And then Azrael number 6 places Ra's age around 450 years. Yeah, Azrael. That makes sense.
Okay, this might be the list of names. Another long one. I was in a very small, tiny jewelry store, and there was a female there. I was with someone familiar to me, but I can't remember who. I believe it was who is a mother. She's deceased. We got some gold jewelry, and I was about to leave. I turned and asked the woman if she had my information for the jewelry. She said, yeah, I have it written down right here. Then next, I was talking to who's my neighbor next door, the wife of, but I don't remember the conversation with her at all. I just knew I was talking to her. Then I left from her and I was with someone familiar to me, but I believe it was, but I'm not sure. I remember being in a parking lot and saw several cars. As I approached this one car, I saw two females. One I remember from high school, her name was, and then was there, who was my neighbor, the Vietnam vet. The women were having car problems and was attempting to help them. He was a younger in his 20s and in some faded jeans and a white t-shirt with blue squares and triangles on it. He seemed agitated with the females and walked off. He didn't pay any attention to us, me for one thing, and I believe I walked near the females, saw who it was, and then I left. The next, I'm in a house with in the hallway, and she's a very big lion. She comes up to my head. She's my height. But I remember seeing her in a kennel. So I went back to the kennel, and the kennel door was open. There was a little white fluffy puppy asleep. I closed the kennel door and went back to playing with in the hallway. Then from behind came a Bengal tiger. Now the three of us were playing in the hallway. I was looking at the tiger and it had black and white stripes and tan and gold stripes. It also had real pretty green eyes. I played with them as I walked down the hallway. When I turned right from the hallway, I was in front of a huge window and a sliding glass door, and it was covered with a sheer white curtain. I noticed the tiger was gone, but was still with me and she was still the same height. Now a pit bull appeared behind and was very friendly, not quite black. I opened the sliding glass door and I let them out. And I opened the sheer curtain and I just let the sunlight in. I know that is a book.
Well, I'm thinking that that's one of the ghouls. The animals are the ghouls. They're shapeshifting.
Really?
They're
The one that were behind
space and they're taking it over. Whatever they are.
So was there with me, and these two kept coming behind her. First it was a Bengal, and then it was a pit bull.
Yeah, they're using your dog. That's probably why she goes into convulsions, because they're probably bringing her through like a time-space anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're transporting.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for protection and that cannot be used for any of their agendas, and shut down any and all portals, entanglements, or anything that is giving them access. Okay, we're going to anchor everyone to the earth that belongs here. Anyone that doesn't belong here will be shifted out to wherever they belong. So we're anchoring everyone. And anyone that is halfway over or they're being removed. This woman that I talked to that was really hysterical today. I looked at her and she was like halfway through a portal. Almost like the portal was around her waist.
And she was being pulled into it.
Being pulled in.
Hmm. Well, I am happy that you said, can we talk?
Yeah, it was the right time.
What is it with, where is she from?
It was their way of integrating into your household and then using you. She was like the one that they would put the I'm gonna say whether it was tech or implants or something that would then, you interacting with the dog would be then you wouldn't be as suspicious of the dog.
Mm-hmm.
They use very vulnerable things, like innocent things to harm people. So this looks like a ghoul takeover. I think the ghouls are like from what is
the Egyptian times?
well that they're saying it's like Ra, but I don't think so. Yeah, a demon-like being of monstrous humanoid often associated with graveyards and the consumption of human flesh. Pre-Islamic Arabian religion. There's 4 types of ghouls. And they have their names. I don't want to say their names. So they're cannibals.
Now, the TV series called Supernatural, they had an episode where they talked about the ghouls, and they lived in a house, and they had a tunnel from their house to the graveyard, and they would tunnel and they'd go eat, the newly buried, and that's how they survived.
There is what is it called? It's that video game where they have some kind of nuclear blast.
But The Walking Dead? Oh, those are zombies.
Fallout.
Let me see. Fallout,
and at some point they have these ghouls. Fallout and then ghouls. Peter was talking about the Callisto protocol, but
yeah, I was caught up in that before. We had to pull me out.
Mutated humans or animals, zombie-like appearances. It's from a nuclear fallout. So maybe somewhere they screwed up and then they were going to dump them off over here, or they're coming after the people over here. They were trying to, they were talking about the undead or the zombies, the zombie apocalypse. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they would just show up over here. I think that they would have to do this transfer. I don't think they wanted to, create like an excuse why humans would end up this way. Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking that it's some other like major experiments that they were doing. See how that pattern and everything, and there's this stuff over the face.
Yes.
That reminds me of Callisto protocol. See right here?
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. Whatever they're trying to do with Fallout, I'm asking that it shut down. And close that portal as well. And remove any of these ghouls from Fallout or Callisto protocol right now.
I concur.
There's some kind of AI that broke down. The AI was conducting this experiment. They're planning something for next Halloween. Supposedly they had forewarned us, but they used someone that was so evil that it was just garbage. So in other words, they sent someone, but the person was not credible in the first place. Mm-hmm. But they're saying, "Oh yeah, we sent somebody," but
so that was done on purpose so that we wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah, the false prophet used for the ghouls.
The clue is the name is Patrick, and it said he will make a post that I will like. It is a clue, understanding, or something I need to pay attention to. Believe it or not, that is everything that I have seen since the last time I talked to you. I think they sometimes I think I would be blocked because I would see a bunch of messages, but I couldn't read them. And I would see a bunch of symbols, and every time I try to focus in on them, they would just disappear. And I would see numbers and things flying, and every time I try to focus, they're gone.
If you see anything, let me know. If you look into that, we can see what they're planning.
Okay. Now that I got all this stuff clear, I'm sure I'll see something.
And we'll keep monitor and see how everything goes. I saw someone else with, they had a dream about a DocuSign system. That's, online signatures agreeing to things.
Yeah, for like when you're buying a house and all that stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad that you called. We got a lot cleared up.
You have been listening to Andronetalks Radio. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Arael Marrocco and visit her website at www.readingsbyarael.com.